Hello, and welcome to all of our viewers from around the world that have joined in to watch today's episode of CNN10. We are so happy for you to join us here, and we hope you enjoyed today's show.
We're your hosts, Diamond Diva Delano, Trixie Eleganza Extravaganza, and Pastel Sparks.
Good to see you all. My name is Trixie Eleganza Extravaganza, but you can call me Trixie. Starting off today's episode is the building of the Taj Mahal. Whoa! I know, right? This palace was built by Shah Jahan in Agra, where he took the throne in 1628. The rectangular complex runs roughly 1,860 feet on the north-south axis and 1,000 feet on the east-west axis. The monument was built out of love for Mumtaz Mahal by Shah Jahan and is considered a living example of eternal love. Aww, love. Even though Shah Jahan had other wives, Mumtaz was his favorite and accompanied him everywhere. When Mumtaz was on her deathbed, Shah Jahan promised to build her the richest mausoleum over her grave. It took 22 years and the labor of 22,000 workers to finish constructing the monument. The Taj Mahal is now known as one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Audio Jungle.
For our next story, we have Miss Diamond Diva Delano on Japan in World War II.
Thank you, Trixie. World War II lasted for about 6 years, beginning on September 1st, 1939, and ending on September 2nd, 1945. Many famous events occurred during this war, from the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor to the Holocaust. However, the United States made history by dropping the first atomic bomb ever. On the morning of August 6, 1945, Harry S. Truman, the current president of the United States at the time, confirmed the releasing of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima, Japan. 3 days later, another atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, Japan.
There's 2 of them!
The bomb dropped on Hiroshima, known as Little Boy, was made of uranium-235, a highly radioactive element. And the bomb in Nagasaki, named Fat Man, was made of plutonium.
After falling for 43 seconds, the time and barometric triggers started the firing mechanism. A uranium bullet fired down a barrel into a uranium target. Together, they started a nuclear chain reaction. Solid matter began to come apart, releasing untold quantities of energy.
About 150,000 people died in Hiroshima and about 75,000 in Nagasaki. Survivors were left with severe third-degree burns, and some children could not find any of their family members. The goal of this was to destroy Japan's chance of retaliation and revenge for the attack on Pearl Harbor.
10-second trivia.
Which of these cities in China has a population of about 7.5 million? Is it A, Shanghai, B, Hong Kong, C, Beijing, or D, Wuhan? If you picked B, Hong Kong, you are correct.
About a year ago, thousands of protesters gathered in Hong Kong to march against the government. More recently, protesters have come together to challenge China's Communist Party. However, after the coronavirus allegedly began in Wuhan, the protests began to ease up as people followed the stay-at-home and quarantine orders put in place.
Go away.
Nevertheless, that didn't stop protesters, as they pressured the government in other ways. For example, by having hospital employees, who are key and essential workers during this time, going on strike, which causes a big backlash and many issues. While the virus has been slowing down near Hong Kong, gatherings of more than 8 are still banned, and protesters who ignore this rule are getting fined. With all of this confusion, protests are getting more and more violent, causing police to use rubber bullets, tear gas, water cannons, and even guns in some cases against protesters. Right now, for the city of Hong Kong, there is no end in sight. Despite this pandemic, local officials in Philippine villages are having fun and helping out by dressing up as Star Wars characters in order to enforce stay-at-home and quarantine rules and orders in a fun and engaging way.
Mahigpit po talaga namin pinatutupad yung social distancing at paglalabas po sa bahay. Hanggat maaari, hanggang dungaw lang po talaga, kaway-kaway po kami sa mga tao. Ayan po, para yung ngiti nila, yun, okay na po yun. Na-absorb na po namin yun. Masaya na rin po kami pag nakikita namin yung reaction nila na gano'n. Masaya po sila.
Gawa ng costume bahay para naman po mabawasan yung pag-iisip nila sa COVID, lalo na po ngayon nasa quarantine po tayo.
Siyempre, gusto namin para matanggal yung stress, hindi lang yung puro takot. Kailangan may ano rin, kumbaga sa may katuwaan din.
In addition to this, they're handing out relief packages in order to help and aid those who really need them. Now, I know quarantine may be a little Darth, but nothing a little lightsaber can't fix. I know a lot of people are sitting with rage, having to stay inside, but I heard that dancing may help clear the brain. Maybe little Robo C-3PO dance moves. The lukewarm water doesn't help skywalk those feelings away, but this is just advice, because
I am your father.
Stay well. This is CNN10.